I'm gonna say it again. For a lot of these situations, women do not understand until they are in the position that men are.
But the question is more along the lines of, is it possible that
I influenced her to try and get me for $20,000 a month for a 2-year-old? No.
Is it? Yeah.
No. No. We never spent $20,000 on my daughter when we were together. Mm-hmm. And I had the money.
Yeah, but no.
I don't like, who spends that kind of money on a kid? Mm-hmm. She was 1 when she took my baby from me. We never spent $20,000 a month on our child, and the credit card was wide open. So what the fuck do you suddenly need that kind of money for?
You changed the quality of life.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Like
the quality.
So I agree with Joe that you change the quality of life, or changing the quality of life could have effects on what, let's say a child is used to, it could have effects. But I agree with Tyrese in a sense, because him giving his wife that lifestyle does not, I don't see in any way does it translate to, try to get $20,000 from me for our child. Now, I can get that she was probably trying to keep up the lifestyle, but I see it from Tyrese's perspective of, if she's entitled or she feels entitled to his money because she was married to him, I don't know, man. Let's take some accountability here. If she don't have the money to give her child that lifestyle, get the kids to Tyrese.
Well, I get what you're saying, and I kind of get what he's saying about, he stated that she wanted $20,000 a month.
It's a lot of money.
Shoot. And that's not just for her. That's actually for the child expenses.
Boy, stop.
No. I think there was a prenup with no alimony. I think that what this woman is doing is she's using the child to be able to compensate for alimony. Because she's not getting alimony in the prenuptial agreement. So if she requests $20,000, then, you're not going to spend the whole $20,000 on the kid. Then you got the rest of the money from child support to be able to maintain a lifestyle that you once had with Tyrese. Because he said that at this point, he wasn't even speaking about the child. He said he didn't spend $20,000 a month while they were together.
They didn't spend $20,000 on their kid when they were together.
He said they didn't spend $20,000 a month together. Period.
No, he said on their kid, but okay.
Well, you want to rewind it back?
No, let's say that. Let's take that point. I don't really care. Let's be real. This is how I feel. If you want to keep up, if you want to maintain that child's quality of life, unless Tyrese it's been proven to be a bad parent, give him to the parent that can maintain that quality of life.
But they got 50-50 custody, I believe. But the thing
he's still paying $20,000 a month.
He's not paying that yet. They going to court right now, and she's requesting that as child support. So my thing is, she making over $100,000 a year, and he making his money. They got 50-50 custody. How is there any sign that the child won't be able to maintain a lifestyle?
Well, I think that's just more of the same. Just like, what's his name? Lead attorney.
Lead attorney. My man. Yeah. Shout out to the lead attorney. Salute.
Just like lead attorney said, he broke it down. I think it's a perfect explanation of why a lot of men get caught. Obviously there's, situations outside of this, but why a lot of men get caught paying alimony, child support, or whatever after the divorce is because that man introduced that woman to that lifestyle while they were married. So if your wife wasn't paying any bills or taking care of any of the bills, the household things, anything, while you were married, then you can't really expect her to do that when y'all divorce. So if you don't introduce her to that type of lifestyle, or you guys are married, it's her responsibility for, let's say, 45% of the bills. then when y'all get divorced, if y'all get divorced, high likely that you're not gonna get railroaded. Try that.
Oh, the family courts have a mysterious way of. We'll get into it.
Do you think social media played a role?
I can't answer anything for it. I can't put no words. I'm saying from a first person experience, I don't know who the fuck you are right now.
But for men at your level, you catching the short end of it with $20 a month.
I'm not paying that. That's what they're trying to get.
But there are men that they
Paying
banging
more.
A lot more.
Way more. Yeah.
You don't give a fuck.
What happened?
You don't give a fuck.
About
He said, "You know you're fucked."
That there are
said you
men
don't
paying
give-
way more.
Wait, he
Oh,
really
I
said,
don't
"You know
give
you're
a fuck.
fucked."
It's ridiculous, bro. I've got a whole documentary coming out called "Blackmail of the Blackmail" about the family courts.
Oh,
Like, I'm not fucking around. There are no. Have you ever seen women outside of a family law courthouse protesting with picket signs,
Of course not.
boycotting, doing anything that's got to do with the family law court system?
No.
You were born a man. There's a preset menu. Fuck what you say. Fuck what you feel. Nothing is going to work in your favor. For the niggas that's got full custody, I can count on my fingers how many niggas I've said that compared to the niggas who's got their ass served to them when they go in the courtroom.
In a perfect world, what would you want the custody arrangement to be? Would you want full custody of your child?
I don't want full custody. I don't have time to have full custody for my first or second daughter.
Okay.
And that's why that number.
You stay at home, you lose your home.
That's
We gotta be out here in the field. We're lions. We hunting. We out here getting it.
and that's why you gotta pay, right?
But that's why that number's
Right.
20
that's why.
grand.
Yeah.
No, that's what they're asking, but they're never going to get that. First of all, the cost of living in Atlanta is $2 compared to New York or LA. So get the fuck out of here off top on that. And then she's 4. What the fuck do you? And she makes $160,000.
Oh, so she has a good income.
Isn't she a lawyer?
No, she's a licensed social worker.
Got it. Okay.
Licensed clinical, LCSW, licensed clinical social work. And all of her social media shit, you do whatever the fuck shit. Get your money. But our daughter that we co-created together wants for nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with what daddy got compared to what mama got. The needs of the actual child are fully met. Because if they wasn't met, are you on food stamps? Have you signed up for any type of public aid or assistance? Have you ever waited in a homeless line trying to get some free food?
She wouldn't be
because-
eligible with what she makes.
sure wouldn't.
That's exactly the point. So you're making more than enough, and I'm making more than enough, so our daughter is just fine. You, motherfucker, are trying to get 20 for you.
You want to, you're making sense, but
And
you want to.
that's not cool.
You want
I'm
to
not-
ignore some of the cash cow shit that comes with dating and procreating with men at your level, and I don't see how you do that.
But no. Well, see, I am aware of all of the risk involved in being who I am and what I make. That's why we did a pre-nuptial. Prior to the nuptials, this is what the fuck I got. This is what the fuck you got.
This is what I'm keeping.
And we're never gonna change the way we feel.
I think y'all
when
conflate.
we're in our feelings.
I think we conflating alimony and child support. They two totally different things.
And she had no alimony either. That was in the prenup. Like, I don't care about all that. Sold.
All right, so check this out. For a lot of these situations, women do not understand until they are in the position men are. I'm gonna say it again. For a lot of these situations, women do not understand until they are in the position that men are. We know that's facts. And you don't have to go far to confirm that's facts. Look at the post on social media when Mary J. Blige, when Adele, I don't know, shit. It's been a few others, but them the ones I know for sure. Look at the comments. Girl, he less of a man for trying to get child support. He less of a man for getting spousal support. She shouldn't have to give him nothing. He cheated. All of that, you hear all of that. But men get railroaded in the family court. and it's by nature. And yeah, we're men. We're hunters. Hell, we all hunters. We all gotta live. But when the woman is the breadwinner and they get divorced and she has to pay out, women don't like that shit. I'm not saying don't support the kid. Definitely do what's best for the kid. All I'm saying is some of that shit is a little outdated. We need to update the shit.
It's tough, man. And I can understand, man. I actually met the lead attorney at one of his court hearings when they were actually talking about her request for him to pay $20,000 a month and her lawyer fees because of the arbiter or whatever, the arbitrator messed up the paperwork, within the prenup. So that was a big deal, and I think lead attorney made a really good live stream about that. And we was there. We was sitting in there. I sat right next to the lead, and we was just, our mind was blown watching it. I think he stayed there the entire time, but it's just crazy how a lot of women are out here protesting and marching and wanting to get things changed. But I think the way the family court system is in their benefit. So I think they would be cutting off their nose despite their face. I don't know if that's the right metaphor for it, but they'd be taking away a safety net or a benefit, even though it's bad on the man. I don't think they want to mess with the family court laws. If it's doing what he's saying it's doing, and I haven't been a victim of the family court, so I can't really give you my personal experience. But from what I heard, speaking to brothers who had to go through the child support hearings, had to go through divorce court and all this other stuff, it's real, bro. Like, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, bro. And I do not see any women. I do see some women out there saying things about it, but I don't see any women coming together and trying to figure out a way to make the system fair.
They're not going to.
I don't even think they think it's unfair. I think
they're not going to.
Yeah.
It takes a different type of person to go against their own interest to make things equal.
True. But what is a man supposed to do who goes out in the world and uses his talents and his ability to be able to build a legacy, a fortune for anybody he connects with on that in holy matrimony or have kids with, and is willing to pour everything he has into this woman? How is he supposed to do that with this kind of system that we live in here in America? He's supposed to get a prenup, right?
Of course.
But then, like his case, you get a prenup, and then it gets screwed up in court, and then the child support still gonna. There's nothing you can do about child support. There ain't nothing. There ain't no protests. There ain't no flag. I don't think there's anything you can do about child support. Child support is just gonna be child support. You have a financial responsibility to take care of your child. We're not trying to change that. I'm just trying to understand how can you justify that amount? 20 grand.
The way they justify it is the quality of life that Tyrese was able to afford his wife and child when they were together. I mean,
so if we were to try to not be biased to the men's side and try to see the women's side. So if I try to put my mind into Samantha's head or try to get in her head, no pun intended. But if I was trying to put myself in her shoes, okay, I'm raising your child. He's probably housed with me, so I can get child support. I'm gonna need $20,000, and I'm trying to figure out how do you calculate that? How do you get to that amount? What expenses have led you to that amount? Given the fact that you're already making $160 grand, So if I was to gauge it from her mindset, I'd be like, okay, look, he had the ability to be able to spend $20,000 a month on her. But during our marriage, he chose not to. I still reserve the right to request the amount he had the ability to pay. I think that's where the gray area, that's where people are not, and I think that's where Tyrese is not seeing. Just because you wasn't spending that much every month doesn't mean the child is not entitled to that. If I have $1 billion in my bank account and my child, the expenses I put into the child that I have during my marriage is only $1,500 a month or some shit, just walk with me with it. It's only $1,500 a month. I don't have an argument that, oh, I only should pay this much because I didn't spend that much. But you had the ability to spend billions on this kid. So if she asks for $200 million for child support, I think she should be able to get $200 million, right? I'm trying to look at it from the other side. I think the judge is looking at, okay, look, what do you have the ability to spend? Just because you didn't do it with your kid, basically the judge is saying you just should have spoiled the shit out of the kids while you were with them. Or we don't know what you spent. How can we tell? But I think he said he had like receipts and documents and all that shit and saying how much he spent a month. But it's about what you have the ability to afford to spend. I think that's how these judges are making or even entertaining these requests by these women for child support, these amounts. That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe you got a point. I see.
That's the only thing I think. What do you have in your account? What do you make per year? What do you have the ability to spend and still be able to cover your own bills and expenses? And like, what is left? Like, and I think that's when she was with her attorneys and they mastermind that shit and they're like, okay, look, 20 grand. And she like, you know what? I'll be set for life, at least until the kid is 18. So, are you ready to end it?
Mm-hmm.
You want to end it or you want me to end it?
You got it.
All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody who stuck with us through the end of the video. This video was an hour and 30 minutes long, I think. We only got to about 50 something minutes. If y'all want us to continue to react to the rest of this video, you gotta let us know in the comments. Otherwise, we would think that y'all don't want us to react to this shit anymore. We reacted to a video last week on Harley when Tony Gaskins was on Harley Initiated, and we didn't get any feedback on whether y'all wanted us to finish that. So we moved on. And just like this one, if we don't get any feedback, we're gonna assume that y'all don't give a shit about the rest of this video, us reacting to the rest of the video. We're gonna go on to the next.